Hello and welcome to the Phase 3 induction evening via Zoom. This is new to us, so please bear with us. Thank you so much for clicking on this link and watching this video. We really believe that by working together, your child can have an amazing time in Phase 3 and also achieve their best. So we're just going to introduce ourselves. I am Miss Rosser. I am the phase leader on Monday and Tuesday. I work in Year 6 in Pine class with Mr. Gibbard, and in the other Year 6 class there is Mrs. Allen with Miss Key.
And I'm Mrs. Llewellyn Hodgson. It's a bit of a mouthful, so I tend to go by Mrs. LH. I'm the phase leader on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and I work in Sycamore class alongside Mrs. Richards and Mr. Grimwood. And then in Year 5 Holly class is Miss Derrick, and working with her is Miss Fitzwilliams. So we just wanted to say a huge well done and thank you from all of the phase team, because there was so much home learning going on over the lockdown period, and it was really lovely for us to see so many people on Google Classroom sharing what they've been doing. Some children had even done some extra work to that had been set, which was brilliant. So well done, everyone. The first few days back have been wonderful. It seems really settled across the phase. The children have come in so well and kind of adapted to our new way of being in school. And I'm sure they've explained some of these strategies to you. So things are looking different, and we are spending a lot more time doing lots of hand washing. The desks are all forward facing now, and so we're less in groups and more kind of in lines to help us there. Each child's got their own individual pack with pens and pencils, rulers, all the bits that they might need. To help us in the bathrooms, each class has got a toilet and they only use that toilet. And in line with the staggered drop-offs and pickups, our lunchtimes and playtimes are also like that. And we're trying quite hard to keep the Year 5 bubble together in one area of the playground, the Year 6 bubble together in one area of the playground, and that's rotating round. It's working really well, everybody with their packed lunches at the moment. Most of us are spending time eating lunch in the classes together and then heading on out to get some fresh air. So thank you for everyone adapting to this new way of working.
So we're just going to run through the expectations we have for Phase 3. We do have high expectations, but that's just because we want the best out of your children. So attendance and punctuality are really key, especially as we're trying to catch up of any learning that your child has missed. We really need to make the most of every minute and every possible learning time. So we know that there are staggered pickups and drop-offs, and like Mrs. LH said, thank you so much for adapting to these. Please can you just ensure that you are arriving at your allocated time, not before, not after. That will really help us all out. So uniform, we have come back into school and we're trying to establish a sense of unity, a sense of belonging. So we really appreciate all children coming in every day in their full uniform. So this could include their fleece, polo shirt, jumper, smart black shoes. I think that's all for.
Yeah, and just being really careful with jewellery as well. I think the staff are trying to do that too.
Yeah, so with PE, it's slightly different for Year 5 and Year 6 at the moment. Year 5, I think your PE day is...
We are Monday and Thursday, and children will get changed with all the boys facing one wall and all the girls facing the other wall.
And then Year 6s are coming in their PE kit on a Monday, and they are not expected to get changed in school or get changed back into their school uniform. This is just another thing that we're trying to put in place to make transitions around the school easier and just to make life a bit easier for everyone. Forest School will be starting soon. We are going to be still using our forest and taking the children up there for all those opportunities. So please ensure that children have the correct and appropriate clothing to wear for whatever the weather, rain or shine. Is that everything? Oh, just with our expectations as well. Handwriting and spelling, we expect the children to take pride in their work, to take responsibility really. So joining is one of the things that we look out for in Year 5 and 6 in order to get the children to get their pen license. So we just added this little slide in here which shows you we do follow the pen pal scheme, and this is just the break letters, so letters we don't join are those loopy letters that have descenders, and the children know this is the language that we use in our pen pals lesson. Yeah. So following on from that, we've spoken about it, it's woven through everything that we do throughout the phase, is our core values. So we expect the children to be, by doing all of this, they are reflecting our core values and learning powers, and showing respect to their peers and adults, following instructions, communicating in a learning way with their peers, not about football, not about what they've been doing, but talking about their learning. And I know that in year 6, over the first few days, we've definitely seen lots of responsibility being shown, and children just being fantastic, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So typically in phase 3, there are a lot more responsibilities that children tend to take on. Some of those, like homework and kind of doing a bit more reading aloud to the class, will continue as normal. However, some of those responsibilities that happen around the school might take a little bit longer or might look a little bit different to normal. So we are hoping that we will still have our house captains. Again, it may look a bit different. Peer mediators will happen, but will happen slightly later this year, and we will do it in a different way to be mindful of our bubbles. Our ANTs, our assemblies need technical support, again, will be up and running later this year, because at the moment all of our assemblies are via Zoom. That kind of supporting some of the younger children at break and lunch times, again, not okay at the moment, but something will happen later this year. And with the librarians as well, we will work with Mrs. Banham to think about how we can do that, because we need to be careful about who's touching the books at the moment. So keep tuned for more to come.
So we're going to give you a lot of information today, but if you don't remember it, that's absolutely fine. There are 2 places that you can go just for a bit of a refresher. One of them is our school website, and the link is there if you want to click on it. On there, we've got things like our calculation policy, PE days, homework, all of the spellings are on there. Also, one thing that we are continuing with, which Mrs. LH touched on, is Google Classroom. It was a fantastic platform during lockdown to communicate with you guys at home, to share resources. So we are going to be carrying on with that. So please, the children have been moved into their new classroom. So can you please ensure that you have signed them up and they are now in the correct class, because there will be lots of information being shared via Google Classroom.
Super, and then as always, we will carry on with our John Muir Day. Across phase 3, we take part in the John Muir Award. It's all about outdoor learning, where we are discovering, exploring, conserving and sharing. So this is not only our orchard and our kind of green space in school, but also, like Miss Rosser was saying, the forest that we need to, and for year 6, sometimes they go out to other places, green spaces, to do bits. So there's just some information on this slide about that John Muir Award, and we are looking forward to seeing everybody dressed up as some sort of explorer or something to do with outdoor learning on this day.
So we couldn't really run a phase 3 induction without mentioning stats. This says 2020. So this was the proposed timetable for last year, which obviously it didn't happen. There are dates set for this year, but we will play it by ear. We will see what happens over the next few months. There will be a meeting about this nearer the time if we do carry on with them, if they look slightly different, but rest assured, we are aware of them. We are aware of your children's gaps, and we are doing everything we can to ensure that your children will be ready for this, whilst also having an amazing time and having so many fantastic opportunities to them.
So following on from that, I'm sure that lots of you are thinking, what can I do to help my child at home? And this is for both year 5 and for year 6 children. So although they may feel like they don't want to read with you at home, sometimes reading aloud or just having a bit of book chat and saying, you know, who were the characters, or what happened in your book, or can you recommend me a book to read, would be fab. And there's a great website, the Oxford Owl website has got lots of other tips on, and some books and bits that you can read together, because we know that technology is bringing in new ways of reading. Also, we're looking for children in our phase to be reading wider genres. So if they're happy reading the newspaper or any of the bits that perhaps you wouldn't typically think that they would like to read, get them reading, and all reading is good. We've just added on a couple more websites as well. Like we've said before, on our school website and on Google Classroom, there will be loads more quite specific links. These are quite generic. So BBC Bite Size has got lots on for everything, for spelling, for grammar, for maths. The same with Top Marks. It's got a really good website where you can go and have a look, and there are lots of kind of games bits to play. And we know lots of people have forgotten their spellings at the moment because we've had all that time off. So have a look at Spelling City. There's some brilliant games there to play as well. But any kind of other bits that you can do at home, it's just the basics and reminding ourselves of the times tables, just a bit of reading, those kind of basic addition and subtraction bonds in maths, and making sure that homework is done will all help and be really beneficial.
So secondary transition. So if your child is in year 6, the deadline for submitting your form for which secondary schools you would like your child to go to is the 31st of October. And year 5s, this will come around really quickly for you next year. So normally I know loads of you will be starting to go to open days. Some schools are running virtual open days. So if you wanted to have a look at maybe Fairfield, Bristol, Met, Orchard, get in contact with them because they are still doing some form of open days, and it will give you a really good idea of the school and what your child can get from that school. The forms are all online. If you need any help filling in the forms, then please ask us. We do loads of work to support children with the transition. Sporting events, we go up there. People come down from the different secondary schools to start getting to know the children. So there's lots going on behind the scenes to really ensure that your children are as ready for this step as possible.
Okay, so thank you for listening to this Zoom. There should be a Zoom now that is specific to your year group. So whether your child's in year 5 or year 6, so make sure you go obviously to the correct link, because the teachers there will be telling you a bit more about the books that are read, about the expectations in terms of the calculation policy, what maths will look like, and so on. And we, like we said at the start, we really look forward to working in partnership with you to make sure we get the best outcomes for your child, particularly at the moment where we need to catch up on that key learning. So come and see us if you have any further questions or concerns. Go via the office, drop them an email or a phone call, and we will do our best to help you and get back to you as soon as we can.